Hey everyone, so have you ever lived in a place that just felt like it had a rule for absolutely everything? Well, today we're going to dive right into that feeling. We're going to explore how a big shift from focusing on rules to focusing on purpose, an idea really inspired by Simon Sinek, can completely change the game for residential communities.
I mean, it's a question a lot of us have probably asked, right? Whether you're a student or a staff member, it can sometimes feel like you're just trying to navigate this giant maze of regulations. It's a super common feeling in these kinds of shared spaces. So the real question is there a better way to do things? And you know exactly the rules I'm talking about. The sound of that wake-up bell, the designated hours for homework, that dreaded phones away time, and of course, a strict lights out. You know, these rules don't just structure the day. They pretty much define the entire experience of living there.
Now, if you ask the adults in charge, they can almost always tell you exactly what the rules are and how they're enforced. They've got the system down cold. It's really just the basic mechanics of how to run the house.
But here it is, the crucial missing piece of the puzzle, the why. Why do these phone rules actually exist? Why is that wake-up time so important, really? Without a clear why, all these rules just end up feeling, well, kind of arbitrary and controlling, don't they?
And this leads us to a really powerful idea from Simon Sinek. Just think about it for a second. Nobody gets excited about following rules for the sake of it. We don't rally behind regulations. What we do rally behind is a purpose, a real, genuine reason for why we're doing something in the first place.
And this contrast, it's everything. When rules feel totally random, sure, you might get compliance, but it's fragile. The second you turn your back, it could all fall apart. But when people truly understand the purpose, you get genuine buy-in, and that is something that actually lasts. So this kicks off this fantastic positive loop. When a student finally gets that the phone rule isn't just to be annoying, but it's there to protect their sleep so they feel better, or that study routines are about helping them actually succeed, they start to get on board. And with that buy-in, the constant battles and the pushback, they just start to melt away. So how does focusing on why build something even bigger? Well, it's not just about managing behavior from one day to the next. It's about building a real, authentic community culture. You've probably heard this famous saying before, and let me tell you, it is absolutely spot on in a boarding house. It basically means that your best laid plans and strategies don't matter one bit if the day-to-day feeling, the culture isn't right. The culture is what truly runs the show. Okay, so here's the difference in a nutshell. Strategy is all the official stuff, the handbooks, the schedules, the policies. But the culture, that's what's really happening. It's the vibe at breakfast. It's the casual conversations in the hallway. It's the way those tough moments are handled. And it's the why that shapes all of that. So how do you actually build that strong culture? Honestly, it all comes down to consistency. The staff have to be on the same page about the values. The students need to hear that same core message from everyone. And, maybe most importantly, leaders have to live the values they're talking about, day in and out.
This brings us to a huge point. Belonging has to come before behavior. You just can't expect people to act a certain way until you've created an environment where they feel like they genuinely belong. It's basic human nature, right? We are all wired for connection. So when a student feels truly known and valued by the people around them, their whole mindset starts to shift. They stop just looking out for themselves and start thinking about how they can contribute to the community. And the results of that shift are pretty powerful. Suddenly, students are following expectations not because they're scared of getting in trouble, but because they don't want to let their community down. They start to support each other. They own up to their mistakes. All of a sudden, they have something that's worth protecting.
And let's be really clear here. This is not just about the students. The staff, the adults on the front lines every single day, they need to be plugged into the why just as much, maybe even more.
Let's face it, this kind of work can burn you out. A shared purpose becomes the anchor that holds you steady. It's that constant reminder that you're not just a rule enforcer. You are shaping young lives. That mission is what gets the whole team through the tough weeks and helps them stick together when they have to make hard calls.
Okay, so let's bring this all together and look at what it really means for leadership. Ultimately, what we're talking about is a fundamental shift away from being a police officer and towards being a community builder. It's moving from a model of enforcement to one that's based on trust.
It really boils down to three key principles. First, real leadership isn't just about making people comply. Second, having a super clear why is what creates a consistent experience for everybody. And third, leading with your values? Well, that's how you build real, lasting trust with every single person in the community. And this is the beautiful transformation that happens. When that why is truly understood and embraced by the entire community, the rules are no longer seen as these restrictive chains. Instead, they become supportive structures. They're like guardrails that help everyone feel safe, respected, and able to thrive together.
So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether you're in a school, an office, or even just your own family, what's the why that holds you all together? Because finding that shared purpose, that's how you turn a group of people who are just following rules into a community that truly thrives.